Hi everyone. In this video we will learn how to delete blank rows and how to do it safely. Deleting blank rows the wrong way can mess up your data. So here are the safest methods. Here's the first method. Select the data. Under Home, Editing, there's Find and Select. Click on that. Say go to Special. Select blanks. Say OK. It will highlight all the blanks. In this case, the blank cells are actually complete blank rows, so it's safe to delete them. So to quickly delete them, within Home, under Cells, you see the delete option. Just click on that and it will remove the blank rows. So this is one method of deleting the blank rows. At this point, I would like to say that if you're liking the video, please subscribe to our channel. Here's another method. In this data, I have made some changes. I have blanks here. I have added a couple of rows in the end, and you see it has a few blank cells. Now if you use the first method, wherein you select everything, go to Find and Select, go to Special and say Find Blanks. Now it will still find all the blanks, but when you want to delete it, you cannot use that option of directly going here and delete, because here in one cell you have data and in the second row also there's a cell which has data. So now if you delete, you see it will change the rows a bit. It will not be able to delete correctly. I'll delete it. So the rows which are totally blank have been deleted, but here you see the 10 which was under test 2 has now gone under test 1. So that's a mistake. I'll do Ctrl Z. So to delete the rows safely, in such cases we use the other method, which is more safer. In this case we will filter the data. So under Home, Editing, if you go under Sort and Filter, you have this filter option. So when you go and click filter without selecting the data, it will put the filters, but it will only consider the first few rows. It won't consider the rows after this set because they are blank rows afterwards. So if you want blanks also to appear in the filter, then you must select the entire range of data and then go to Sort and Filter, click on Filter. I'll first remove the existing filters. I'll do Ctrl Z. Now I will select the entire data and then say Sort and Filter, Filter. Now when you go to the filters, you'll see all the options, and finally you will also see an option to filter on blanks. So each of these filters you will see that option. Just click on any of the columns and filter on blanks. Okay, now you see these are the rows which are completely blank, so it's safe to delete them. You won't accidentally delete anything. But here in these two rows there's data, so you can further go to each of these columns. Say this is number of units. This one has 3 here, so I'll go to the column header. I'll select the filter and I'll remove the 3 and I'll keep only blanks. I'll say okay. That row will disappear. Again I'll go here, I'll go to cost price, I'll go to the column header, I'll remove 10 from there and I'll keep only blanks. Say okay. Finally you have the blank rows. None of the cells have any data, so you can safely delete them. Just do right click, say delete row. I'll remove the filter to see all the rows. So all the blank rows have been deleted, and these 2 rows, they've not been deleted because there was data in those rows. So this is how you safely delete blank rows. This method is especially useful when you have lots of data and when the data is messy. The first method is good when your data is less and it is comparatively cleaner. Another method is the sort method. This is what most beginners commonly do. So if they have to look for blanks in the data, they'll just sort the data and see if the blanks are appearing at the top or at the bottom, and then just you go ahead and delete the rows. So let's say this is the data. There's a blank here. In the end there are some blanks in these 2 rows. So let's say I'll sort on this column, cost price. Just go to Sort and Filter. I'll say sort smallest to largest. Expand the selection. So you have to expand the selection, otherwise it will mess up the data. I have covered this mistake in another video on sorting. Do check it out. I'll say expand the selection and I'll sort. So it is sorted, and if you go down, you see the blanks are here. For this one, you can straight away select that blank row and delete. This one, the row is not entirely blank, so leave it as it is. So you can use the sort method also to find blanks and delete the blank rows. Now you can also use formulas to detect blanks in the data. So let's say I want to check if this cell is blank or not. I'll say if statement, if I'll select this cell and I'll check if it is blank. I'll just give quotes. If it is blank, show blank, else show not blank. I'll close the parenthesis. I'll say enter. There's nothing in the cell, that's why it shows blank. Now here, if you want to be doubly sure that the cell is blank, you can also use the trim function, because if somebody has put space by mistake, even though it looks like a blank, Excel will return not blank. So it's better to trim it. Just trim H2. This formula will work only if the cell is really blank. So let's say I put some spaces in the cell. Now this formula will return blank if the cell is really blank. Let's say I go here and I put some blank spaces. I'll say enter. It returns non-blank because I put some spaces here. So in that case, what you can do is, to be doubly sure, you can use the trim function. Trim will remove the hidden spaces. I've covered these and other editing functions in another video. You can check it out. So trim will remove the spaces and then check if it is blank, then show blank. See, now it returns blank even though there are some spaces in the cell. Now you can also check if the entire row is blank using a formula. So let's say I'll remove this 10 for a moment. So now this entire stretch is blank. So what I can do is I'll check if, in this case I'll use the count A function. I've covered count and count A in another video. You can check it out. I'll use count A. I'll give the range. Now if the count A returns 0, that means it is blank row, else there's data in it. Say enter. So it says blank row because there's nothing in it. The count function counts only numerical values. Count A on the other hand counts numbers, text and logical values. That's why I used count A here. I have covered count and count A functions in another video. You can check out that video. So these are the various methods that you can use to find blank rows in Excel and to delete them. Next, we'll take a look at the common mistakes that you are likely to encounter when using these methods. The first is the deleting partial rows in which some cells have data. So you have to be careful when deleting those rows, and which is why we use the filtering method. You filter only on blanks and then only you should delete. Secondly, there could be some missing hidden data such as spaces. So you must use functions like trim in case you are using formula to check for blank cells. And finally, if you have some row with blank cells which you think you need to delete, instead of selecting the cells and trying to delete only the cells, it's always a good practice to delete the entire row so that the data structure is not broken. So wherever possible, try to delete the entire row which you do not want. And finally, when not to delete blank rows. So not every blank row needs to be deleted. In some data, blank rows are purposely added to separate data sections. So in this case, like you have this income statement, so you have some blanks in between. So such blanks are added to separate various data sections. So you do not have to delete such blank rows. So do consult with your team or manager before deleting such blank rows. So that's all in this video. Do subscribe to the channel. It helps us produce more videos like this. Thanks for watching.